We came into Daytona Beach, Florida with 54 entries vying for 42 spots. We now have the full field set and we are ready to go for the Royalty Grafix 500 live from the Daytona International Speedway, ready to kick off the inaugural season of the Power V8 Cup Series. Starting with the biggest event of the season, 42 cars have been locked in for the 50-lap main event. After our two 24-lap dual races, we're able to set the starting order for this race. We have a lot of interesting storylines and updates to get you caught up with, so let's get down to the latest headlines. Starting off with the top developments of two driver changes, both the 02 and the number 35 will have new drivers, as both the Cooper brothers, Kaysen and Jason Cooper, have been pulled from the Power V8 Cup Series and will since then have their rides be replaced and their teams fully taken over. The Jordan Racing team will shut down after this race. Michael Jordan will oversee and look over the operations of the 02 and the 11 car, as Arvin Basic will step into the 02 and Jerry Chen will take over for the number 35. Coming into this race, one thing to note as well, there are a lot of part-timers in the field, a lot of drivers who are specifically in this race just for this race only, and it'll be the only race that they attend and attempt to make for the entire season. But a lot of drivers here spoiling out on some drivers who are planning to run the full season. We've seen a lot of drivers in the duels that are supposed to be full-time get knocked out and miss out on the qualifying for the 500. And as you'll see, Abel DeGros, Michael Canaday, just to name a few in the second row there. Abel DeGros was super fast in his duel, in that first duel. Him and Riley Hill were really two of the more dominant cars that you'll want to watch out for in this race, as you'll see Toyotas there in first and third. But there are a total of 5 part-timers in the top 10 alone. So definitely got to watch out for these part-timers, as they're still showing that they have some full strength and capabilities. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup, the full grid that was set by the qualifying and then the dual races. Like we said, 54 cars attempted this race. Only 42 can make it in. And from these 42, we'll figure out who the winner is today. Starting on the front row, it is your dual winners. Dual 1 winner Riley Hill on the inside, and Dual 2 winner Ronnie Martin on the outside. In row 2, we have two part-timers, Abel DeGros on the inside and Michael Canaday on the outside. Row 3 sees Nelson Reeves on the inside and Miles Mashburn in the number 72. Row 4, another set of part-timers, JT Bryant so far in his only planned start, and SC Derricks also. The two cars that are just in this race. For this race alone, we'll have to see how they do and if they can take it all in their one planned race. Row 5 will see Dylan Hayden and Zachary DeLello on the outside. Row 6 will have his owner, Blake Parker, on the inside, and outside of him will be Ruben Gonzalez in the 26. Row 7 will have Cam Cole and Roger James. Row 8, Owen Scott and Bradley Ream. Row 9 will see Christian Russell and Ethan Hayden. And in row 10, we'll have Cody Goforth and Adam Wilson rounding out the top 20. Row 11, we'll have Priya McShane and JQ Halak, followed by Alex Livingston and Alan Sparrow, Landon Lonenbach and Ben Crouch. Cam Wright Sr., the new owner for JC Motorsports, and outside of him is the Crown Chevy owner, Roberto Crown Jr., and rounding out the top 30 is Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and Brett Bishop. Row 16, we will have Christian Vargas and John Ritson, followed by Solomon Sheridan and Already Alejo. Boston Jones and David Dixon will make up row 18. Then we'll have Carl Unterswerfer in 37th and Leland Hill starting 38th. Myron Felder and Josh Moore make up row 20. And rounding out the field is our driver changes, Arvin Basic for the 02 for Jordan Racing, and Jerry Chen for the 35 for Crown Chevy Motorsport or Racing. Then we'll go ahead and take a look at our DNQs. Arvin Basic did not qualify in his number 44, his original entry in the Mercedes for Good Smile Racing. Nathan Orman, unfortunately missing out on the show in his single car entry. Adrian Rojas had a very bad dual one along with his driver, his other driver, Xander Nathan. Tyler Wells, Carson Jefferson, Nick Kennedy, James Fletcher, and Jerry Chen among some of the drivers who originally did not make it in. Like we said, Jerry Chen now in due to his due to the driver change. Then Xander Nathan, Felix Rizzo, Jeff Bolin, and Patrick White, unfortunately, all will not make the Royalty Graphics 500. And now let's go trackside for the command for the Royalty Graphics 500.
Drivers, start your engines!
"42 engines come to life and are alive here at the Daytona International Speedway. We're set to kick off the biggest event of the Power V8 Cup Series schedule. Let's go ahead and take a look at the track analysis for this race. 50 laps here for this prestigious event. Pit window is going to be between 30 to 35 laps, so it should be a one-stop race for the majority of the field. And we will be seeing a beautiful day here in Daytona Beach, Florida, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, with only winds that are 9 miles per hour coming in from the south direction. One thing we noticed from the duels is that the pack is like a deck of cards. It's going to be shuffling. Drivers are going to constantly be changing positions, swapping out where they are at, and we will rarely see someone lead the same lap or lead 2 laps in a row. Should be interesting to see who can stay out front and who can be able to manage the pack, because that will more than likely be the difference between who will win this race and who will be out of it. We came into this event with 54 cars into our qualifying dual races. Right now we have 42 ready to try to go 50 laps to take home the top spot. Only one driver can be the winner. Riley Hill and Ronnie Martin, your dual winners, along with Abel DeGroat and Michael Kennedy behind them. Some really strong names right there, just thrown out there. But now the pace car about to come in and kick us off for the season. 50 laps, 42 drivers, but only one can win it. This is the Power V8 Cup Series. We're getting set, getting ready, and the green flag is in the air. Riley Hill will lead us down at Daytona. Coming to the line, looks like Nelson Reeves is going to actually be able to get out in front from the 5th position. He's got some competition from Dylan Hayden, but Reeves is going to lead the very first lap in Power V8 Cup Series history. Hayden and Parker, though, going to go 3 wide for the lead. So we see now Reeves fading on to that high line. Owen Scott now getting a push from Christian Russell. He's going to move up to the middle. Blake Parker now your current leader. Cam Cole giving Blake Parker a push. That number 07 Parker Enterprises Chevy out in front and in the lead. But I'm not sure for how much longer, as Parker now going to go on the high side. Cam Cole going to go down below. Parker will lead lap 2. See here Cody Goforth below Cam Cole. Cole going to shut the door and Goforth before he could get the momentum. At 42, Rojas Racing Toyota out in front. He's got his teammate right behind him on that inside line, Alex Livingston in the 53. But he'll move up to the middle, and that'll allow Landon Laudenbach to lead the charge from the inside. Goforth's going to try to move to the bottom. Cole is going to block down low with him. Cam Cole blocking Cody Goforth. Cole wants to try to be in command of this race, get out in front and lead. He's going to look to the bottom, and he will lead lap 3. Cam Cole doing a good job staying out in front. Not sure how much longer he'll be able to hold on, as here comes Landon Laudenbach to the inside now. He's got help from Cam Wright Sr. Christian Vargas also behind him, pulling in that inside line. You can get a lot of momentum on the high line, but one thing's for sure, the winner of this race is going to be produced by the bottom line. Whoever is on the lead of that bottom pack within the last 3 laps, I think they're going to have the best chances at winning this race. Cam Wright Sr., Landon Laudenbach just barely slides in front. Wright Sr.'s got his own driver, Solomon Sherman, behind him. Both of them driving for JCM. As now the two Chevys are going to look to charge to the front. Laudenbach will lead that lap, but Wright Sr. is going to try to get this one. Oh no, maybe Sheridan's going to try to go for it himself. 3 wide for the lead. One of the many lead changes we'll see throughout the race. So now Solomon Sheridan is going to lead the pack. 3 wide throughout the entire field. It's organized chaos here at the start. Carl Untersweffer now looking to the lead. The Ronnie Racing Dodge. Then number 43 now looking to make the charge to the front. And here we go. He's going to be able to get to the top, and he just is about to lead that lap. Brett Bishop, though, going to lead on the bottom. Arvin Basic now with the lead in the charge of the pack. He's got Josh Moore and David Dixon behind him pushing. A lot of drivers that started in the rear now making their way up towards the front. Just shows how quick and how powerful this draft is once you get in that lead bottom pack. Leland Hill now going to try to dive to the inside of David Dixon. Moore and Basic going to shut the door in the inside lane. It's getting pretty congested towards the back, coming off of 4. Josh Moore now looking to make the quick swap on Basic. Basic will lead that lap. But Josh Moore now has the inside line, the main advantage. Bradley Ream going to try to duck below Moore, and he's going to be able to do so. Leland Hill just gets into the middle line in front of Priya McShane. Bradley Ream now moving up to the top to block Josh Moore. Already Alejo in the middle. 3 Chevys in those 3 rows, as you see up at the front. Bradley Ream now getting dusted by that inside line. Roberto Crown Jr. gets a nice push from John Ritson, and now he'll go up to block the top. Ritson has a lot of momentum on that inside. He's getting a nice push from Ronnie Martin. Martin now making his way back up to the front, making his rounds. He's coming around to pass lap 8. Martin's got a lot of help. DeLello and his own driver and Owen Scott behind him. DeLello now making a push, really helping out Ronnie Martin move up to the top. Owen Scott can help block the bottom, and Ruben Gonzalez will clog up the inside line. DeLello will now try to move to the bottom. Martin is going to block. Ronnie Martin doing a little mirror driving there in front of Zachary DeLello, but is able to hold on to the position as, it is getting tight. We're going to go 3 wide for the lead here. Martin's going to lead that lap, but I don't think he'll lead the next. The field is getting dicey. Ruben Gonzalez to the point and to the lead. The Fitzwater Australia Racing Dodge out in front. Ben Crouch behind him in that Mercedes. Lots of Mercedes entries specifically for this race. They only have 3 full-time cars, but I believe they have 6 entries that made it in total into the race. Or no, 5, excuse me. Ruben Gonzalez now holds the lead out in front. He's got Ethan Hayden and Roger James on the charge behind him. Riley Hill also in the back of that line. He's now making his way back up at the front, the pole sitter. But Ruben Gonzalez will lead, cross the line, on to lap 10. Still 3 wide. The pack is doing a very good job keeping itself neat and tidy. Roger James moves to the inside and to the lead, getting a big push from Riley Hill. Now James will move up to the top. The way this momentum works, it's just everyone gets shuffled around in various positions. As we see, we're going to go 3 wide for the lead once again. No, Roger James going to try to make the block, just gets down below. James surprisingly able to make that top line work for him. At number 93 looking pretty good. He's got Boston Jones now looking to push behind him. Three wide, cross the line. See now Roger James looking to block the top. JT Bryant trying to get to the behind of Roger James. He's getting a lot of momentum from the draft. He's going to look to try to push that number 93. He's going to get to the bottom of the 93. Now here comes the 11 to JT Bryant. To the inside of Roger James. Cam Cole now getting some good momentum. Jerry Chen back there making his only planned start. 3 wide across the line. Here comes Chen now to the inside. Chen with a good bit of momentum from Blake Parker. The 39 and Christian Russell getting a little out of line. Fly by the field as they come through. Cody Goforth leading that inside charge with his team owner pushing him along. Blake Parker now going to dump off Jerry Chen and try to lead this pack himself. Parker will look out in front. Cody Goforth, though, right alongside with him. As these guys are getting very racy, battling it out for every position. Remember, only the top 15 get scored for points, so it's important and crucial that you finish within that top 15. Zachary Fitzwater out in front, but Arwen Basic and Christian Vargas trying to take that away from him. Basic now gets a good push from that inside line. Everyone doing a great job minding their P's and Q's. So far, all speed weeks, we've only had 1 wreck. It could very likely change today. We'll just have to wait and see. Arvin Basic goes ahead, finishes crosses the line in the lead after that lap, but is going to quickly give it up to Landon Laudenbach. Laudenbach now in point of the pack. Miles Mashburn now to the middle. Bradley Ream trying to go ahead and stick his nose in there. Here comes Solomon Sheridan as well. He'll move to the middle. Sheridan trying to get to that bottom. He really wants to get up in there, but there's just not enough space. So Brett Bishop will move to the middle. Bradley Ream will lead that lap. Look throughout the back of the pack here, trying to get back up to the front. Roberto Crown Jr. leading that inside line. Priya McShane getting help from their teammate, David Dixon. And here comes McShane now, looking to the bottom, just peeks the nose under, but doesn't have the momentum. Is now McShane's teammate, David Dixon, getting a big push from the 43. Also, Myron Felder. A lot of the SCR Hondas are all up at the front. You actually see them all in the frame right here. Doing a very good job so far. David Dixon, though, going to try to get a good bit of momentum off of Roberto Crown Jr. He'll push him to the front. But now Dixon wants to get the lead himself. He'll quickly look to the underneath of the 21. Dixon now has that inside line, getting some help from Josh Moore. Now Moore going to try to get a good bit of that side draft off of the 21. gets the nose under there, but now the 15 and the 92 are going to hook up. The two Ronnie Racing cars on the inside. And oh, JQ Alak and the 26 making some contact, and they hook. They're both down below on the apron, trying to get back up on the track. They're now going to be 4 wide through the tri-oval. This is not going to work. Oh, they're still hooking. They got to get it straightened up for the corner. They're 4 wide. And I'm not sure. Now they're making contact. There they go. Halak in the wall. David Dixon involved. A bunch of cars in it. It's the big one. Josh Moore heavily damaged. Bunch of cars that try to make it on the bottom just got caught up. Jerry Chen. Bradley Ream is flipped over. He is on his lid, up in smoke. His day is done, but the race back to the line now. Ronnie Martin out in front. And it looks like the 92 is going to lead them back to the line. And indeed he will. Ronnie Martin will lead them and win the race back to the line. Caution flag is out. My goodness. Josh Moore, incredible damage. Zachary Fitzwater Sr., his royalty graphics hopes are up in smoke. Jerry Chen with a lot of damage. Roger James also heavily damaged. And you see there Bradley Ream is, the car says it all. He is out of the race, unfortunately. Somehow found a way to flip over. Let's go ahead and get a replay from every single angle that we can. So this is a wreck that really starts a lap before. As you see, they go 4 wide here, coming off of turn 4. Halak and Ruben Gonzalez making a lot of contact. They both have to come back up through the tri-oval as they made it down on the apron. Somehow didn't wreck here. I thought they were going to wreck here. Still making contact. Not enough room. This isn't Talladega. You can't go 4 wide here for long. And you just see Halak and Gonzalez. They kept making contact. Halak got pinched up. And from then on, it's just whoever was in the way of JQ Halak. Very unfortunate for her. Is the only known female driver in the series. She was trying to make a really big impact in the series in the debut race, but unfortunately not able to do so here. As far as from Bradley Ream's perspective, a lot of cars in the top line were just mere victims as they had absolutely nothing they could do. Ream just hits more, and he just gets slammed by Zachary Fitzwater. And just rolls over a couple times. Nothing that Bradley Ream could really do there. A bad crash for him, for sure. Just coming off the corner here, you see for cars like Michael Canaday. Heavy damage. SC Derek's hard in the wall. Lots of damage for that 30 car. Some cars in the back were able to get on their brakes just enough in time to avoid a majority of the damage, but it looks like for the most part a lot of those guys who were in the high line, they just had absolutely nowhere to go. Take a couple look at some onboards here. We're going to first look at a view of Jerry Chen. See them all the way up ahead of the pack. They start the wreck. Chen gets on the brakes, tries to go low. He stays very patient, but just at the end, Bradley Ream comes out of nowhere. Very unfortunate for Chen as this is his last career start. On board now with Zachary Fitzwater Sr. I'll show you one more replay of the crash here. But fortunate for Bradley Ream and for many others, their royalty graphics 500 odds are considered over. We'll be right back after this. Alright, welcome back everyone here to the Royalty Graphics 500. We are under caution, about ready to get back under green. Once after this lap, the pace car will pull in and we will get back under green flag racing. We'll take a look at some of the cars that were involved in the wreck. The big one just occurred and it was absolutely huge. tremendous amount of cars. Take a look on screen, and you'll see who was involved, who wasn't. But of these cars, we have Blake Parker, JQ Halak, Arvin Basic, SC Derricks, Roger James, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Josh Moore, and Bradley Ream are all out of the race, and many others badly damaged. You see David Dixon here with a lot of damage, Michael Kennedy, John Ritson, Landon Laudenbach, Jerry Chen. The list goes on. Bria McShane has some damage as well, but there's a lot of cars that are very, very damaged, and looks to be their hopes for winning the Royalty Graphics 500 are more than likely over. We're about to get set restarted though. Ben Crouch is your current leader after the pit cycles, as many cars went ahead, took their one stop that they needed, so most of the field should be good to go. Green flag is back in the air. See immediately now Riley Hill going to look to the bottom along with Solomon Sheridan as they're going to try to get back up to speed on lap 22. Sheridan giving Hill a pretty good push. Ruben Gonzalez as well. One of the main culprits of that last crash, but was able to escape thanks to him being on the inside line. So Gonzalez will live to fight on another lap, and he's going to try to move to the inside of Solomon Sheridan. Riley Hill, though, will move down to the bottom as a lot of this field has been broken up. Take a look at some of the cars in the back real quick. Many are off pace, and whoa, we may even see a little bit of a wreck here. Watch out. Priya McShane and Cody Goforth almost just clipped each other. My goodness. Even the damaged cars racing like crazy. Glad we caught that. But up at the front now, already Alejo looking to try to make the move on Riley Hill, excuse me. Both Leland and Riley are still in this race. But right now we're seeing the main pack. Most of these drivers here, probably from Riley Hill to Cam Wright Sr., I would say they have the best chances at winning this race unless another wreck or something else was to happen. We are definitely going to get some lap traffic and a lot of it. So that will be a huge factor that we'll have to watch out for in this race. But here's already Alejo pushing Riley Hill up at the front. Riley Hill now trying to get some of the some bonus points for the most laps led. As that number 5 car has been hooked up all the speed weeks, obviously won the first duel right out the gate. Did a very incredible job. And Riley Hill, definitely one of the contenders to win this race. A lot of the cars that I thought would, had the best chances of winning this race are still in this race. Guys like DeLello, Zachary DeGroat, not DeLello, Abel DeGroat, excuse me, and Riley Hill. But here's Ethan Hayden now getting a push from Leland Hill, Riley's older brother and team owner, as now Hayden is going to move up to the inside. Leland will move up to the outside to try to push his driver. See the Hill brothers up on the top, trying to make it work. But unfortunately, 2 is not as strong as 4. As you see, that inside line is moving. Now Leland will duck under his brother, move to the inside line. Christian Russell with a little bit of some evasive driving, but Myron Felder all the way up to the front and in the lead. Ronnie Martin now moving down to the inside, splitting it 3 wide. We're going to go 3 wide for the lead. It's got a nice push from Alex Livingston. Martin's going to come up high off the corner. I think he is going to lead this lap. Yes, he is. Ronnie Martin will lead lap 25 right at the halfway mark. See anybody here in this big group of cars, they have a chance at winning this race, the main event. Here's 2 Mercedes giving each other a big push on the inside. Alan Sparrow and Ben Crouch. Crouch making his way back to the front. Sparrow now going 3 wide for the lead once again. We're just going to see this small pack of cars constantly shuffling out lead changes throughout the whole way. Ruben Gonzalez now looking to the inside. And Ben Crouch going to lead this lap, but Gonzalez now going to look to lead the next. Solomon Sheridan might have something to say about that. He'll go ahead and leave that inside line and have the inside charge. Good bit of cars always trying to get to that bottom line. It is the preferred line around this Daytona International Speedway. And like I said, it is going to be the line that wins you the race more than likely. Leland Hill now going to try to go ahead and lead some laps for himself. We are coming up to a little bit of lap traffic. David Dixon is just ahead of the field. Hopefully they can get by him without any trouble. But he is very much damaged and off the pace. Leland Hill will get that lap. Zachary DeLello with the help of Dylan Hayden. DeLello will more than likely move to the middle, which he does, which will become the high line now as the field will simmer down from the first 4 rows will go to 2. A little bit of 3-wide racing in the back as the field is now approaching the lapper and David Dixon. Got to be very, very careful here now. That 45 heavily off the pace. And if they're not careful enough, this could cause another accident. Dixon is on the bottom and is going to slow up the bottom lane quite a bit. It's going to allow DeLello and Leland Hill to move on by. Dixon's going to go into the high line, it looks, and slow that line up now. David Dixon holding up the high line. And everyone behind him just can't wait to just get around him. Dixon incredibly off the pace. Some cars now, you see Cam Wright, Ronnie Martin trying to get by, but Solomon Sheridan, Ruben Gonzalez, Ben Crouch, they have been severely held up. That's what happens here at these plate tracks. You get lap traffic and they just go ahead and they break up these packs quite a bit. And then they get back together and try it all again. David Dixon still doing heavy blocking on Solomon Sheridan. Now Sheridan finally... Oh, Sheridan's just going to dump him. Somehow they saved it. Solomon Sheridan very frustrated with David Dixon. Almost completely took him out and got a caution. Now that probably ruined Sheridan's chances for the most part. I don't think he's going to catch the draft, as now we see this small little group forming on lap 30. Leland Hill has been out in front in the meantime of all this. Abel DeGroat leading that inside line. Dylan Hayden now with the charge. He will move up to the lead. See now Leland Hill tries to get down to the bottom of Abel DeGroat. Hill just recently signed DeGroat to a 10-race part-time schedule to be announced soon, along with the Vortex Racing part-time 10 races that DeGroat will already be doing for them. Now Dylan Hayden out in front and in the lead. Take a look now. Next lap cars, still a little bit of ways, but we more than likely will catch those before the end of the race. The 2 lappers of Adam Wilson and Jerry Chen. See now, here comes Abel DeGroat, one of the strongest cars in duel number 1. Finished second in that duel, and now here he comes up to the front in the lead. Abel DeGroat in a part-time effort, looking in full strength right now. A lot of this field broken up. But these are going to be more than likely your final front runners for the win and the points positions as well. As Ben Crouch is the last car on back, and he's in the 18th position. So that means that Boston Jones is in the final of those top 15 that can receive points. DeGroat now continuing to lead, and I think with this condensed pack, Abel DeGroat's got a really good chance at being able to stay out in front, lead some laps, and try to take control of this race like he tried to did in the duels. As you see now, he'll lead lap 32. Zachary DeLello, another strong car we saw from duel number 1. He's now going to look to the inside. He wants to put an end to that. Right as I said, DeGroat had a shot at, staying up at the front of the lead, but I think DeGroat should be able to move back within line before the pack even gets to him, yeah. So DeGroat's only going to lose 1 spot here. Very clean pass. But here comes Ronnie Martin now, going to try to make it 2 spots. He gets his nose to the inside. DeLello will move down to block. And here comes... Oh, Myron Felder wanted to get to that bottom lane, but Alex Livingston was just there. So Felder had to think twice about that. Ronnie Martin trying to challenge for the lead. Abel DeGroat, though, continuing to hold that inside line, not giving up. A lot of cars in DeGroat's situation would just stay on the high line and migrate towards the back of the pack. But you constantly see this number 27 car up at the front, always on that inside line, always finding a way to stay ahead. But it's going to be very challenging now here as we have the 2 lappers of both Adam Wilson and Jerry Chen. Will they put a hitch in the 27's plans? We'll see which lane they go. They are going to go low. The 27 is going to stay middle and go around those cars. The 00 and 35 are going to completely plug up that inside line. They may actually block both lines, and as they'll actually both go to the middle now. Chen will block that inside line, and Ronnie Martin and Abel DeGroat will be the only 2 cars that are able to escape the lappers. Zachary DeLello making it 3. Now, Riley Hill has a clear getaway from them. Is Adam Wilson's car looking a little sketchy in the pack. I think it's being very disrupted by all the dirty air and the side drafting. But here comes Ronnie Martin now trying to get back at the lead. The Duel 2 winner, a lot of the strong, like we said, a lot of the strong cars, the ones we looked out for, they are still in this race, and they are up at the front, not getting held up by lap traffic. Ronnie Martin to the point and to the lead. We're coming up to just 15 laps to go now. It's getting down to the wire. We're going to start getting pretty close to crunch time here. DeLello going to give Martin just a little nudge on that rear quarter panel and make him move up the track. You see, these cars in the back still having problems getting around Jerry Chen. They finally got around Adam Wilson. They just can't get around Chen. That's going to split a lot of these guys up, but I don't think they're out of it just yet. And in fact, oh wait, they're on more lap traffic. Here's Cody Goforth and Landon Laudenbach. Goforth is going to block that top line. This is going to allow Boston Jones to move up to the lead. They've blocked Ronnie Martin. They're blocking Zachary DeLello as well. Landon Laudenbach trying to find a lane. He has a lot of damage on his car. Riley Hill trying to find anywhere to go. He's going to look to the very top. And Boston Jones is going to be your new leader now. Some fortunes for the 18 car. He'll be out in front and clear ahead with not many to challenge him. Just the 91 of Alan Sparrow on his tail. The 27 and the 92 have gone around, so the 5. And it looks like the 48 and 39 also finally gone around the 83, but many are still trying to get around Laudenbach and Goforth. Now we're going to go 3 wide for the lead here. Abel DeGroat once again up at the front. At 27 does not give up. It will not go away. DeGroat now back in the lead. Going to be a real contender. It's going to be very hard to get around this 27 of Abel DeGroat. Here's Alan Sparrow now getting a nice push from Boston Jones. But Ronnie Martin is also going to have some help from Riley Hill. See if anybody else finally getting around the 83. Nope, 83 still holding up some cars, including the 53 and the 03. Ben Crouch not having a good time trying to get around the 83. He'll just dump him to that inside line. They've finally gone around Cody Goforth at least. And there's David Dixon once again, along with Priya McShane. I think that will be the last bit of lap traffic risk, as the next pack isn't until, well, halfway across the track. So, yeah. I think the 98 and the 45, those two Sinclair Canada Racing cars, which Sinclair Canada Racing has not had the best of days. A lot of their cars got involved in that wreck. Pretty sure the only one that didn't get involved in that wreck was Myron Felder. So, not a great day for them overall. But here's Riley Hill now up in front, back ahead in the lead. Both the Duel 1 and Duel 2 winners, 1 and 2, Ronnie Martin and Riley Hill, showing why they won their duels and that they really are a force to be reckoned with, the two of them leading the top and bottom lines. It's a 6-car race up at the front. We'll see if anybody else is able to join them in for the end, or if we have these 2 cars that may disrupt their plans. So we already see the backpacks here of Zachary DeLello with some help from Ruben Gonzalez. He's starting to catch up. We've also got Christian Russell. Yeah, we're definitely going to have more cars in this race for sure. I'm not too specifically sure if these three are going to be able to make their way back up to the front, but this is right here. You already see DeLello is there. They're already on David Dixon. Dixon making contact with Riley Hill, almost taking out the leader. David Dixon has gotten involved with so many people today. He's made a lot of contact, unnecessary contact at that. Holding up that top line once again, killing the lines of Hayden, Ronnie Martin, and once more, Zachary DeLello is getting blocked once again. Not good to see for that 77 car. I know that's got to be very aggravating for him. Very good for the 26 and the 46, though. We saw Gonzalez. He got affected by that lap traffic, but now is up in the front in second. What to see, Riley Hill's going to try to get around Priya McShane. He goes up top. I think Myron Felder's going to get blocked by his own teammate. Yes, he will. Abel DeGroat goes to the inside. Not the smart move. Or maybe it is now that McShane will go up to the top. They're still trying to get around David Dixon in the back. Hopefully we'll have a clean last 10 laps as here comes Ruben Gonzalez for the lead with help from Alan Spurrow. Gonzalez now steals the lead from Riley Hill. Two cars has much more momentum than one. Ruben Gonzalez will lead with the help of Spurrow. Coming up to just 9 laps to go. They are getting very close in the back, trying to get around that lap car, Priya McShane. They're finally going to be able to do so. Just got to see if they can... Zachary DeLello, heavily... Oh, he got held up so bad by David Dixon. That is terrible to see. DeLello had one of the stronger cars. Hopefully him, Livingston, and Alejo can find their way back up to this pack. But it's going to be very difficult to do so, especially with Gonzalez and Spurrow hooking up and starting to run away from this pack, honestly. Abel DeGroat, though, coming to get Riley Hill. These two Toyotas, they are always up at the front. They always know how to maneuver the traffic. And they are here to prove at the end why that they are here at the end. As we see, looks like DeGroat going to go to the inside. Hill going to try to attack the outside. Which Toyota will get to the lead? I think it's going to be Abel DeGroat. Honestly, my money would be on the 27 if I was to bet on this race. Abel DeGroat looking like he has the car to beat. Spurrow holding on to that top line. Riley Hill wanted to get to the bottom, but here is Owen Scott making a nice push. Haven't seen much from him. He started in the back, minded his business for most of the day, but now he's here at the front. Owen Scott looking to the inside of Abel DeGroat, and he is there. DeGroat will lead that lap, but the 15 is going to have the inside line. Moves up high. Now going to try to get down low. Is Riley Hill going to get there? Yes, or Leland Hill is there now. Riley's been up at the front all day, but here comes older brother Leland. Getting a push from Myron Felder. Ronnie Martin also in that inside line. He might be in the perfect position to win this race. Leland Hill to the point and to the lead. This little breakaway here, this pack of cars of about 13 has been absolutely entertaining to watch, and they're going to give it their all as any one of them has a shot at winning this race, winning the Royalty Graphics 500. Leland Hill leads in front of Ronnie Martin. Martin giving a very good push to the 54. Ronnie was able to get his car back and all good from the lap traffic. Nelson Reeves, the Fitzwater Australia Racing Dodge. Haven't seen him too much up at the front all day, but here he is at the end. Coming up to just 5 laps to go. Like we said, any one of these cars has a pretty good shot at winning this race. Will they wreck? Will they keep it clean? We just have to find out. Leland Hill continues to hold the point, though. He's going to try to do everything he can to stay out in front for these last 5 laps, but that's going to be an incredibly daunting task. or at least to stay up at the front. As here comes Dylan Hayden now. He's going to already move his way down to the bottom. He's got Ethan Hayden, no relation, down below to him on the inside. Both Haydens will lead the inside line, the 48 and the 19. Dylan Hayden out in front. Just 4 more laps to go. Is Hayden now going to try to take control of this pack? Block the middle and high line. Try to stay down low on the bottom. And Dylan Hayden right now in control. Ooh, but Ethan just able to get the nose right on the inside. Forces Hayden up into the middle line. And now Ethan Hayden is going to move up to the lead. There is a little bit of lap traffic. The 35 and the 00 ahead. Oh, there's a lot of lap traffic. I hope these guys don't interfere with the end of the race. 3 wide all throughout the pack as Ethan Hayden leads. Just 3 more laps to go. They're almost going to go... Oh, there they go. There goes Riley Hill in the wall. Nelson Reeves gets tagged. Ronnie Martin is involved. Riley Hill gets wrecked. This is going to be the end of the race. I don't know if the caution came out before the line. If it did, that's going to be it. Yeah, it did. The caution came out right before the loop. An anticlimactic end to this race. Riley Hill gets taken out, but because of that, it looks like Ethan Hayden is going to be your winner. Well, how about that? A surprise caution at the end. I really thought we were going to make it all the way to the end, but it appears not. As we'll have to wait under these pace laps, but for the time being, Ethan Hayden is your leader. In front of Ruben Gonzalez in second, Abel DeGroat in third, Boston Jones fourth, and Ben Crouch rounds out that top 5. As we said, there are no green-white checkers here in the Power V8 Cup Series, so the race will end under caution. Let's go ahead and take a replay of how that wreck got started. Coming off the corner, everything looked just fine. And I think Owen Scott is going to just get under Riley Hill. I mean, he's going to get pinched by Dylan Hayden up in the wall. That's what happened there. Just gets turned around. Nothing Riley Hill could do. And Dylan Hayden going to get wrecked. See. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alex Livingston just pummeled the back of the 48 car. Somehow there were 2 wrecks involved as Dylan Hayden, in absolutely brutal hit, comes to a complete stop and just gets hit at 200. Caught in the catch fence. Wow. Take another look here when Alex Livingston hits the 48 of Dylan Hayden. Coming across the line, Livingston moves to the apron to try to avoid him. Somehow misses Riley Hill, but was not so fortunate to miss out on Dylan Hayden. Going to go on board with already Alejo here, as he had to decisively make a move with Riley Hill just coming up. Oh! My goodness. That's a scary hit. One more time, take a look at Ethan Hayden's hit. Or Dylan Hayden, excuse me. Just gets spun out, involved. They're pinching Riley Hill. He's going to get hit by Livingston and Alejo. My goodness. So as it stands, as long as they cross the line, it looks like Ethan Hayden is going to be your winner of the Royalty Graphics 500. An absolutely crazy set of events at the end, that last caution there. And we're hoping that Dylan Hayden's okay. He has been taken by the medical staff. We will have updates later on how he's doing. and whether or not he'll be cleared for the next race next week in Atlanta. But my goodness, a very heavy hit. But there it is, Ethan Hayden, your Royalty Graphics 500 winner. Ruben Gonzalez will finish second. Abel DeGroat in third. Boston Jones will finish fourth. And Ben Crouch is going to round out the top five. A Mercedes AMG 1.5. They're two full-time drivers, along with, looks like Alan Sparrow there in eighth. Three of the Mercedes AMG cars getting in the top 10. I'm sure they'll be very, very pleased about that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the finishing results. Obviously, our race winner, Ethan Hayden, in the number 19 Rockstar Energy Mercedes-Benz AMG, crosses the line. He is your Royalty Graphics 500 winner. Finishing second is Ruben Gonzalez. Third, Abel DeGroat. Fourth, Boston Jones. And rounding out the top five is Ben Crouch. Sixth was Myron Felder. Seventh, Owen Scott. Eighth was Alan Sparrow. Ninth, Christian Russell. 10th, Leland Hill. 11th, Nelson Reeves. 12th was Ronnie Martin. 13th, Zachary DeLello. 14th, Cam Wright Sr. And Solomon Sheridan rounding out the top 15 and the last points paying position. Everything from 16th on down would have no one receive points, starting with Brett Bishop in the 12, Carl Untesweffer in the 43, Cam Cole finishing 18th, JT Bryant 19th, and Roberto Crown Jr. rounding out the top 20. Miles Mashburn, John Ritson, and Michael Canaday would all be the final cars to finish on the lead lap. Finishing 24th is Priya McShane, followed by Cody Goforth, Adam Wilson, Jerry Chen, Christian Vargas, Alrighty Alejo, and Dylan Hayden rounding out the top 30. Behind them, we have Landon Laudenbach finishing 31st. He'd go 2 laps down. Riley Hill would finish 32nd in that violent crash with Alex Livingston as well in 33rd. David Dixon would finish 34th, 3 laps down with Blake Parker, JQ Halak, Arvin Basic, SC Derricks, Roger James, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Josh Moore, and Bradley Ream, all retiring and finishing in that said order. Once again, we will have updates on how Dylan Hayden is doing, and right now he's being taken to the nearby medical care center. Now let's go ahead and take a look at how the point standings will rack up after the first race. So far we have a tie for the points lead between our race winner Ethan Hayden and the 27 of Abel DeGroat. DeGroat was able to knock off leading a lap, getting the fastest lap, and leading the most laps with a total of 8 laps led in the race. So Abel DeGroat almost able to capitalize on as many points as he possibly was able to do, just 2 positions short of being able to capture the full 40 points, but he will still be in a tie for first place, which will be crucial considering that DeGroat is so far unscheduled for at least 5 races of the season. So hopefully he can get that figured out and be able to fight for a championship possibly. This Royalty Graphics 500 will give him a good head start. In third, we have Ruben Gonzalez with 27 points. Behind him, Boston Jones with 22. And Ben Crouch rounding out the top 5 with 20 points. Myron Felder and Owen Scott are tied with 16 points. And behind them, Alan Sparrow with 12 points. Christian Russell and Leland Hill both have 10 points, so they'll tie out the top 10. Nelson Reeves with 8 points in 11th. Ronnie Martin with 6. Then Zachary DeLello with 5. Cam Wright Sr. with 2. And rounding out the final driver with points is Alrighty Alejo, who picked up the final point position. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in and watching the Royalty Graphics 500. It sure was an exciting event. Lots of chaos, carnage, and great racing all around. And we are very, very excited and pleased with the outcome that we had today. Be sure to check out our partners and our sponsors. Check out Royalty Graphics. They are the official graphics provider for the Power V8 Cup Series. Every single car you see here in the race today was designed by Royalty Graphics. Check out their Instagram at Royalty Graphics or their Twitter at Graphics Royal. And also be sure to check out Victory Lane Collectables, the official custom diecast provider of the Power V8 Cup Series. Check out their Instagram, Victory_Lane_Collectables. Again, that's Victory_Lane_Collectables. We thank you so much once again for tuning in to this coverage of the Power V8 Cup Series. We'll come back next week to you at Atlanta for coverage of the Victory Lane Collectables 400. So far, we have a total of 47 cars who are on the entry list, with the possibilities of even more. We hope to see you there, as this was the Power V8 Cup Series.